I always wake up each morning excited because I know any money that breaks, whenever you see yourself, whenever you wake up from bed every morning, it just gives me that instinct that God is not yet done on me, that I still have a lot to pursue. And it's a wonderful money for you to start building upon the successes you are building on a daily basis. Because what you are doing here, we are building a future. And every day that breaks is another opportunity for you to do what? For you to add to the successes you have been creating. I want to appreciate each and every one of us here that are connected in this cell meeting this morning. Guess what? We are 29 in number. By now, we should be up to 35. But because if you go to that Unbendable platform, we are not less than 100, and we are more than even 150. But guess what? How many of us are joining cell meeting? And as a leader, what is your job? Your job is to sell the vision of cell meeting to your team member. Once they are able to catch the vision of joining cell meeting, once they know the importance of joining cell meeting, guess what? You will not be the one dragging them to be joining cell meeting every day. That is it. And cell meeting is where leaders are built. Cell meeting is where leaders are discovered. Like in this cell meeting, through our discussion, we were able to find out who are leaders here. Because my first thing in network marketing said that leaders are not created, but they are found. Leaders are found. There are some people, when you see them talk, you know that yes, I have identified a leader. That this is a leader, of course. And this cell meeting is one of the places where we find leader in our business. Thank you very much. Of course, we are going to get started immediately. And today, we'll be treating a topic, closing like a professional in our business. You know, a lot of people are struggling, but guess what? The reason is because they are yet to master the skill of the game. And today, Matt Morris will be demystifying what it takes for you to close down like a professional. Like somebody like me, when I started the business, it was really, really difficult for me because I'm a kind of a person that I always want to be on my own. I don't even want to associate with people. This time, whenever I come across in the office after presentation, I see a lot of people. They are running up and down, trying to close their people down. I'll just be hanging one place. I'll be looking. I'll be watching them. I'll be telling myself, are you sure I have what it takes to do this thing these people are doing? I was doubting myself then. I was asking, are you sure I can really do this? Because I don't even want anybody. I don't even want to associate with anybody. I just want to be going my own way. I don't want to any business with people. But then, by joining cell meeting and getting the nitty-gritty of what it takes to build the business, I find out that I'm not living my potential. There's something that I'm living beyond my capacity. And cell meeting was what helped me to tap into that my inner self, to discover myself. I was able to discover myself through joining cell meeting. And today, even to close down, I'm even longing, as in every time I'm even excited. I want more people to be coming to me to be closing them down. Because of what? Because I'm able to discover myself. And our business is not just a business of connecting people. Here is where potential are being discovered. People are being discovered the real worth of themselves. And I want each and every one of us here, especially the leaders here, to inculcate that habit of joining cell meeting on time. And again, today the topic we are going to treat today. Of course, we had the topic last week, but guess what? We are still going to review it. Some people will be like, when I start playing, some people will be like, we have gone through this last week, but guess what? It is going to be different. And before I start sharing the screen, Who can tell me the reason why you have gone through a certain training before, and all of a sudden you are going through it again, and you find out that it is something different? Who can tell me? If you know it, go to the comment section. If you know the reason why you will listen to the same training by the same trainer, the same person, and of course it will be different altogether. Who can tell me? If you know the answer, go to the comment section and let's hear from you. Okay, the first person said that because you were not paying attention. Yes, it can be. But what if you were paying attention? You pay keen attention, like somebody like me. I am the one even playing the video. I'm paying keen attention, and all of a sudden I play the video again, and it's no longer the same thing. Who can tell me who knows the answer? Because you are no longer the same person. That is very good, coming from Constant Dilana. Because you are different. Yes, to add more value. Yes, it makes you somehow to add more value. But the real reason why the same trainer, the same training from the same trainer will be different in your hearing is because you are no longer the person you used to be yesterday. People advance every day. You gain more knowledge every day. You grow. Each day that breaks, you are growing. That's the reason when you listen to that cell meeting again, it will be totally different. You will gain more knowledge than that of the first time. That is it. Because of different mindsets. Your mindset is growing on a daily basis. Thank you very much, Ifebuche, for that. Because every day we grow. That is it, coming from Cynthia. That is the reason you have to pay very close attention to what Matt Morris is about to dish out on how to close down like what? Like a pro in our business. Closing down like a pro in our business. Okay, pay very close attention, and I'm about to welcome one of our super leader in the business, in the person of
Hey, it's Matt Morris. Welcome back to lesson number 4 in our 5-day series on how to go from amateur to pro and network marketing. And I hope you've gotten a ton of value over the last 3 days. We're almost done, so let's hop into it. Today, we're going to talk about closing. And over the years, I've had people say, Matt, why don't you call it something like enrolling or call it opening? Because closing is kind of harsh and salesy. And you know what? Here's my thoughts on this. Stop being a pansy. If you don't like the word closing, it probably means that you're a really bad closer. So get over it. Now listen, I'll tell you the #1 reason that will hold you back from being a masterful closer. It's your specific mindset as it relates to closing. Now, I'm going to cover that in just a couple minutes, but before we get into that, you have to know that the closing process, it doesn't start when the presentation is over. The closing process amateur to pro and network marketing. And I hope you've gotten a ton of value over the last 3 days. We're almost done, so let's hop into it. Today, we're going to talk about closing. And over the years, I've had people say, Matt, why don't you call it something like enrolling or call it open?
Somebody is saying no sound. Please confirm there is sound now. Can you hear the video now? Let me just play it again. If you can hear it, then confirm you can hear the video.
Okay, we can hear it, but it's not loud.
Or call it opening, because closing is kind of harsh and salesy. And you know what? Here's my thoughts on this. Stop being a pansy. If you don't like the word closing, it probably means that you're a really bad closer. So get over it. Now listen, I'll tell you the number one reason that will hold you back from being a masterful closer. It's your specific mindset as it relates to closing. Now, I'm going to cover that in just a couple minutes, but before we get into that, you have to know that the closing process, it doesn't start when the presentation is over. The closing process, it actually starts way before that. In fact, the closing process actually starts with the invite. The invite is arguably the single most important skill in network marketing. And we don't have time to get into all the elements of a successful invite. I go through the art and the science of the invite in a ton of detail in my Millionaire School program, but for now, just know that your invite should not be a sales presentation. Your invite should be just enough information to get them to sit down with you to see a full presentation. So I always say the number one thing that we're selling, it's an hour of their time. So the next part of the closing process, it's actually before the presentation as well, and this is the setup, or it's the pre-presentation. So I'm going to give you a 3-step setup that will increase your closing percentages when you use it correctly. So I want you to write these 3 things down. So number 1 is to share your why. Okay? Number 2, it's a big deal, and you are all in. Okay? And then number 3, doesn't matter. Okay? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. So I'm going to break down the psychology behind this. Okay? Step 1 is to share your why. So let them know what it was that got you to be open-minded and not only look at something different other than your regular career, but what actually got you to join. Now, the key here is authenticity. Authentically from your heart, let them know what your why is. Okay? Step number 2, let them know it is a big deal, that you're all in. See, people follow strength, not weakness. If they think even for a second that you're just trying it out, they will not join, because no one wants to work with someone who's wishy-washy about success. And then step 3 is let them know that it doesn't matter to you whether they do it or not. Now, this is where you're going to assert your posture. So without being arrogant or rude, but you want to get across to them that you're doing them a favor and they're not doing you a favor by looking at your company. So I'll give you an example of what my setup might look like. So I'm sitting down with my prospect. Let's call him John. I say, John, hey man, appreciate you sitting down with me. As you know, over the last few years, have had some pretty good success with my company. The challenge is I've been stuck in the office 50, 60, 70 hours a week, just stressed out, burned out. Rhonda just gave birth to Zara, and sending me, you know, pictures of her doing all this cute stuff. A lot of times when I get home, she's already asleep. And, you know, I just want to be able to see my children grow up vertically, not just horizontally. And so I've been open to something else, and I got to tell you, man, I have found it. This is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. I am all in. Now listen, doesn't matter to me. If you love it, that's great. If you don't love it, that's great. But if there's anyone that I want to be in partnership with, it's you. Cool? Okay? So you kind of get the feeling, right? I was very authentic. I shared my why, brought my kid, you know, my child into the picture, let them know it's big. I'm all in. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. If you love it, great. If you don't love it, great. Either way. So I'm basically letting their guard down. Either way is totally fine. So then after that, there's step 4. Step 4 is do to explain this to you. Hit play on the video. So what happens when you say that is they get that you're not doing any explaining.
My network is kind of disturbing. Please, can you hear the video? If you can hear it, confirm you can hear it.
They get that you're not doing any explaining at all, right? You're letting the video do all the explaining and all the selling for you. So when the video is over, we can talk a little bit about the psychology of closing. Now, realize the primary motivator that causes people to take action, it's emotion, okay? People also buy on logic, but the primary motivator is emotion, and then they back it up with logic. So understanding that psychology, we want to be more emotional than logical. And this is where the majority of network marketers, they blow out their prospects because of their language after the presentation. So the most common thing network marketers say after a presentation is, so what did you think? Which is the last thing that you want to ask. See, when you ask, what did you think, you're accessing the logical side and the analytical side of their brain, which is not the primary buying side of the brain. And I'm telling you this right now, even though you know this, you'll still have a hard time not asking this question because it's the easiest thing to say and the most non-confrontive. You see, the number one fear in the world is the fear of rejection. So if you ask people what they think, that's not asking for a decision, so it kind of lets you avoid the possibility of them saying no and you being rejected. So this is one of the reasons why most network marketers, they're terrible closers, is because the fear of rejection. So they ask, what did you think? And then once the prospect tells them that, you know, what they think, then they start reselling the deal to their prospects on all the other reasons and the benefits of joining, the selling points, and they never actually get around to asking someone to join. So listen, the number one reason why people don't get started, it's not because of a lack of money, it's not a lack of time or any of the common objections, it's actually because they're never even asked to join. And the uncomfortableness of asking someone to join, it's also the main reason why most network marketers want to continue selling and want to continue explaining long after the presentation is over. And I know you might be thinking, you know, you're going to get them more excited by explaining even more when the presentation is over. But listen, the exact opposite is true. Tune into the psychology here. You're actually less likely to enroll someone when you do that because going back to the number one question they have is, can I do it? You're being a salesperson. And the more you sell, the more they think they have to sell. And remember, 95% of the people in the world hate to sell. They'd rather eat worms than have to be a salesperson. So they need to understand that enrolling other people, it is a simple process. And when you have to sell, they think they will have to sell. And since they don't want to sell, they don't join. So when the presentation is over, your job is not to sell, it's to collect a decision. Now, if they have questions, if they have concerns or objection, then you're going to explain more to help move them to a decision. But listen, don't overcomplicate the process. Now, I'm going to give you a few keys here to the closing process that this is what helped me become a really good closer. So, number one is my number one rule with just about everything that I do, and that is to have fun. Have fun, okay? So this should be a fun business. Some people, they just take everything too seriously. Lighten up a little bit. And what happens is when you're always having fun, that's attractive to other people. When you're Mr. Miss Serious all the time, it's like nose to the grindstone, that's not a lifestyle that people are really attracted to. So listen, have fun, smile. It makes people like you more when you're smiling, when you're having fun. So number one is to have fun with the prospect. Number two is to posture up, okay? Realize that they need you more than you need them. You are the president and CEO of your own multi-million-dollar business. There is no one person that's going to make or break your success. You're going to be successful with or without any one person. So posture up. Realize that you have the deal, okay? Number three is to be excited. Okay, now I'm getting a little excited in the process here. So be excited. See, that's what moves people. There's a great book called Primal Leadership by Daniel Goleman, and it talks about, you know, what leaders have the ability to do is transfer emotion to other people. And so if you want to have that ability to transfer emotion, then let your emotion out. Be excited. Be genuinely excited. I'm not saying be hyped up. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, don't be a 20. But what happens is most people, they tend to be, a little nervous about the process, and you want to be cool. You know, a lot of people have that ITC disease, I'm too cool. So listen, no, be excited, and that's going to help move other people. So people will dance to your music. If you're excited, they're way more likely to be excited. Now, number 4 is critical in the process. 0 emotional attachment. 0 emotional attachment. You can't worry about what someone's going to say. If you're always worried about someone saying no, they're more likely to say no. Now, write this down. This will be something you can use with your career forever in network marketing. When you stop being afraid of people saying no, they actually start saying yes. Okay? Now, number 5, this was a big one for me, is convince yourself that you love to close, okay? Because here's what I did forever, it seemed like, is I hated the closing process because I hated rejection. It's why I think I had, one girlfriend all through high school. It was like I just couldn't bring myself to, ask a girl out because I was afraid of rejection. And so what happened was I got into network marketing and I was afraid of rejection, and I just started telling myself, oh man, I'm so nervous. So when the presentation's over, I started getting really nervous. It was like, oh my God, what are they going to say? What if they tell me I'm crazy? And so, what I started doing is I started saying, you know what, this is really hurting me. I'm really not having a lot of success. I need to change my thinking. Remember, it's all an inner game. Success in network marketing is all an inner game. It's not about the tactics. So here's what I started doing is I started telling myself I love to close. Now, when you love to do something, are you more likely to do it? Yes. When you love to do something, are you going to be excited about doing it? Yes. Are you going to be better at it? Yes. If you love it, you're going to get better and better and better at it if you love it? Yes. So start telling yourself you love to close. And here's one of the things that I did is when it came towards the end of the presentation, I would still feel the nervousness. And listen, you know, you got to have kind of courage in this case. So courage is not the absence of fear. You're still going to have the fear. It's okay to still have the fear, but courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And so what I would start to do towards the end of the presentation, I'd start saying, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, over and over and over. And I'd say, oh, I love this, I love to close, I love to close, I love to close, I love to close. See, what I was doing is I'm programming myself to love to close. See, what you say and what you think about yourself is what creates your belief system. And what's happened is, over the years of doing that so many times, now genuinely, I love the closing process. I absolutely love it. I'm excited about it, and I'm not tied to the outcome. I'm going to have fun with it. I love to close. So tell yourself you love to close. Now, number 6 is another big one, is assume the sale. Assume that they're going to enroll. You know, when you just naturally have an attitude like, of course they're going to enroll, and that's your body language, that's your attitude, do you think they're more likely to enroll? Obviously, they're way more likely to enroll if you have that assumptive mindset. You know, here's something that I used to do actually is, you know, I'd have a paper application form when I'd sit down with people. And it's amazing to me, so many people go and they present their opportunity or their products, and they don't even bring a way to enroll someone. They don't bring a way to actually, you know, finalize the sale. They don't even have an application with them. They don't have, you know, anything with, you know, computer access to sign them up. So obviously have an application ready, have something, you know, because if you're assuming they're going to enroll, you better be ready to enroll them right then. And what I used to do is I'd actually get the paper application form, and I'd fill in all of the information that I knew about them. So I'd put in their name, their phone number, their email address, their address if I knew it, everything I could, you know, except for the credit card. And so what was fascinating is, you know, when I started becoming a good closer, you know, presentation's over, I'm like, okay, awesome, and I'm bringing out the application form. It's already partially filled out, and I can't tell you how many times people actually said to me, am I doing this? And I said, yeah, man, welcome to the team. And they just naturally go and fill it out, or I fill it out for them. And so assume the sale. Now, I'm going to give you a few of my favorite closing lines that I've used for years to enroll, literally one-on-one or two-on-one. I've enrolled thousands of people, either for myself or other members on my team. And they're almost all based on my philosophy. Now, my philosophy is this: to close early and close often. Meaning, you're not going to start reselling when the presentation's over. You're going to get right into collecting a decision. Now, my number one favorite, which I don't typically use this on a one-on-one or two-on-one, it's a little bit too much energy. This is the one that I typically use if we're at, say, a live event where maybe the energy is really high. And now this is super sophisticated, so you may want to write this down. So presentation's over. If we're in a room, people are, you know, clapping. As soon as it's over, I turn to my prospect and I say, you're in, right? And I give them a high five. You're in, right? And I give them a high five. You got it? So 2-head nod, high five. Or you can do the handshake, okay? Now, if we break down the psychology of this, number one, you're having fun, you're emotional. So when you're emotional, they're going to be emotional. You're excited, they're going to be excited. You're in, right? It's assumptive. It's following a lot of the rules that I just talked about. And when you go to give someone a high five or shake their hand, it's kind of considered rude not to give a high five back, or rude not to shake someone's hand. And if you do shaking the hand, for instance, what does that signify? That signifies closing a deal, right? And so in a way, if they don't shake your hand back, if they don't enroll, it's almost rude. It's almost considered rude if they don't enroll. So I'm just giving you the psychology here behind this. So you're in, right? A high five. Now, if you're at a one-on-one situation, and you're maybe at Starbucks, it's a little weird. So don't do that if you're doing like a one-on-one, okay? So if you're sitting down one-on-one with someone, you're doing a two-on-one, something like that. I mean, the presentation's over. When you're done, so are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? Okay, notice I'm always kind of doing a little nod here. And here's the key. After you've asked this, I'm going to create a whole new sheet here because this is very important. Once you have asked, you want to do this. This is exactly what you want to do, is this. Shut up. Shut up. See, it takes the average person about 8 seconds to process a decision in their mind. Now, the average salesperson, which is an amateur, is not going to allow more than 3 seconds of silence before they start talking and start reselling. So understand that when you don't allow for that uncomfortable silence. You are literally talking someone out of making a decision. So it would work like this. Do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started? And you just sit there and wait, and you smile, and you wait for them to talk, okay? Now, another one, and this is all about leadership, is let's get you started, okay? Let's get you started, okay? A lot of times I do this after they've asked a couple questions. You know, maybe I've said, are you ready to get started? And they say, well, how does this work? And I'll answer that question. And I'll say, do you have any more questions, or are you ready to get started? And they have another question, and I answer a question. And maybe they have 2 or 3 questions. Well, I realize that people need to be led. They have been led their entire life. So when they're kids, their parents tell them what to do. They're led. When they get into school, their teachers tell them what to do. They're led. When we get jobs, our bosses tell us what to do. They're led. And so our job, if you want to be a masterful closer, is to lead. So after they've asked you a few questions, I'm just going to put my hand out. I'm going to say, John, let's get you started, okay? Okay? And again, it's just leading. Now, those would be considered, you can consider those kind of like a 1-step close. Now, I'm going to go through and teach you a 2-step close. I've used this a ton. And so when the presentation is over, if it's a video, if it's, you know, live presentation, whatever. So presentation's over, I'm going to say, awesome, right? What'd you like best? Awesome, right? What'd you like best? And they're going to tell me. And once they tell me what they like about the program, maybe they like the product, maybe they like the money, whatever they say, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to listen to them. And when they're done talking, I'm going to say this. Step number 2 is, sounds like you're ready to get started. And again, shut up. You smile and you nod. So that's the 2-step close. Now, here's another I use if I'm using a video presentation. If I'm, you know, pushing play on a DVD, something like that, this was what I would consider to be a 3-step close. So step number 1, and when the presentation is over, is I'm going to ask the same question. Awesome, right? What'd you like best? Okay, step number 2. Once they've told me, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, cool. Well, listen, I've got to ask you a question to see if you qualify to be successful with this. Do you think you have the ability to push play on a video like I just did with you? And I give a big smile. Okay, now what do you think they say every time? Every single time they say yes. They have to say yes because anyone can push play on a video. Step 3, congratulations, you qualify. Welcome to the team. Let's get you plugged in. I'll show you how to make all your money back in the next week. Cool? So you're putting your hand out and you're shaking their hand. You're leading. The key to being a masterful closer is you leading. Now, these are just a few of the basic closing skills of a professional network marketer. I could go through a lot more, but for now, rewatch this video, start putting some of this into practice. What you ultimately want to get to is the confidence of knowing that you can literally close anyone that's closable. And part of that confidence comes from the topic of tomorrow's lesson, which is overcoming objections. So stay tuned for lesson number 5, and I'm going to give you a framework that I found is the most masterful way of handling just about any objection that's going to come your way. Now, I'm also a firm believer that to become a millionaire in network marketing, it's all about the numbers. So tomorrow, I'm going to give you what I found after 20 years in network marketing are the personal production numbers that you have to go through in order to reach the top. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, yes, that was beautiful by Matt Morris. If you really pay attention to what Matt Morris was saying and you got a value, go to the comment section and type value. If you didn't listen, don't type anything, but if you really listen and paid attention, go to the comment section and type value. If you really paid attention to what Matt Morris was saying. Okay, I can see that coming from a lot of you there. Amazing Grace, that's good. And Geraldine, Ifebuchi, Precious, Amarachi. Okay, now, what is Matt Morris trying to teach us today is about close down. In our business, we have 7 skills that once you master these 7 skills, you will become unstoppable. And these 7 skills are contained in that book, Go Pro, by Eric Worre. If you have not read that book, the book is in our SMO week 4. If you have not gone through that book, you have not started. When I went through that book, that was when my eyes opened. And as a matter of fact, I have read that GoPro over and over and over again, more than 10 times. Do you know what I did? After I had that book, I purchased the book after reading it hard copy. I went online, I downloaded the audio version of that book. Every time, whenever, even when I'm sleeping, I'll be listening to Eric Worre saying those things to my ears. And that was when I started to get the understanding of it. One of them is what? Close down, which Matt Morris has given us a full dose on how to close. So that a lot of people are not closing down, and they're not closing, they don't know how to close simply because of the mindset attached to it. Some people how they are seeing close down is if they are, as in, that close down is lying to your prospects. That is what some people are seeing it, but that is far, 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 far from it. Close down is actually helping your prospect to make a right decision. Machiavelli said is people like to be led, and everything in our profession, it rise and falls on a leadership. You should have that leader. If you don't have leadership skill, you start now by developing that leadership skill. People like to be led, and people will not want to join somebody that they are not even sure. You're not even sure of where you are going. People will not like to join you. That before you can, there are 3 things you should know before, as in that will boost your morale at close down. Number 1 is you sitting in front of that your prospect, share your why. What is the reason? Why did you get started at the first instance? Why did you plug in? What is the reason behind you putting hand in your pocket to pay that 49,990, to pay that 79,990, to pay that 149,990, or even going extra mile to pay 1 million naira to get started? Why? What is the reason you get started? You share it with your prospect. Then the second one is you are, as in, let that person understand that it's a big deal and you are all in. Why you are saying it, have a posture that you are all in. If you are saying it with a doubt, the reason you join, you're not even sure whether the business will work or not. Once the person notices that this one is not even sure where he or she is going, the person will not join you. People join people that know where they are going to. You are closing that person down, and the person is looking directly into your eyes, and you know that this person actually knows where he's going to. This person is already made up, and that person have confidence. The person have confidence that this person can actually lead me to, if I plug in, this person can actually lead me to that process for me to succeed. But you can imagine somebody is inviting you, and you are looking at the person, you are not even sure if this person, at the look of how the person is saying, the person is not even sure of himself succeeding in the business. If I'm the kind of person, I will not even follow you. I will not even join you. When I can't find that energy, you are not even sure of yourself. You are still having that doubt, and you are recommending me to come and join your organization. No, it doesn't work that way. Then the third one is it doesn't matter. Why? Once you want to close down, know it that everybody will not say yes. That is it. Everybody will not say yes. And no, as in, just have that posture that even though if the person join or not, that one is not your concern. It's not your concern, because even without the person, you'll be able to build your business. Without the person, you are going to be successful. Even or without the person, you are going to be successful. Let the person understand by your word of by what you are saying. The person should understand that you are the one doing him or her a favor, not the other way around. You don't beg people to be part of this. If you are begging somebody to join you, even if that person joins, the person will not be serious. You don't beg people to join. You should know that you are presenting an opportunity that is going to help him or her. Check all these our top leaders today that are making
Okay, good morning to you. I believe you can hear me now. Yes, I think network is disturbing our moderator. I believe you can hear me. If you can hear me, just go to the chat box and type one. Let me know if you can hear me. Network is really disturbing today, but with God on our side, we are unstoppable. Okay, thank you very much. That is it. All of you can hear me. So we are going to continue from where our moderator stopped. Yes, and actually, he's talking about you sharing your why, the reason why you joined the opportunity. And the last thing he mentioned is that not everybody will accept your offer. Not everybody is going to accept your offer. And guess what? You don't beg anybody to join this opportunity. Even though those people that rejected the opportunity, don't beg them. Leave them. A time will come, they are going to be the one to come back and say, hey, Hadimbi, I know. Yes, not everybody is going to accept your offer. That is it. That is another thing you must know. Because all these our leaders that are successful today, they will never forget that person that showed them this opportunity. The same thing is going to happen to you in the next few months, in the next few years. You are going to, all these people that rejected your business are going to come back. And guess what? They will be regretting the action they take. Yes, and not, you don't beg anybody to join the opportunity. And another thing you have to know about this, what this man says is that when you are presenting, showing people this opportunity, like when you are presenting, another way you can use to close them down is what? You having fun. Having fun. For instance, most of all that is a presenter here, or you want to close somebody down, you make sure you have fun with them, smile with them, smile, have fun with them, and guess what? It will make them like you more. It will make them like the opportunity more. Yes, for instance, some people will come to the briefing, the presentation, the person will sign up because of how excited you are about the business, how you used to, as in, carry them along in the business. Not that you are showing somebody the opportunity, you are frying your face, as in your face is dull, as the person will be feeling that even that this person does this thing this person is saying is really working. That will be the question that will be going on in their mind, because of how you are feeling about the opportunity, because you are not having fun with them. Your face is, as in, you find your face as somebody that have not eaten since yesterday. Yes. But when you have fun with them, you smile, and you are happy about the business you are showing to them. It will make them believe that, man, this thing is really working. That if this thing is not working, this person will not be excited. They are going to see the excitement in you, and that one will draw them into the business. That is it. You're having fun about the business, about the opportunity. And another thing is that your posture, the second thing is your posture. You have a good posture about the business. And you also talk about excitement. Excitement. I have mentioned this. You having, as in being excited about what you do, and don't attach emotion to it. And the fourth thing he mentioned here is zero emotional attachment. Don't attach emotion. Don't attach emotion with the opportunity, with the business. Yes, just like what we read in the network marketing. Yes, don't attach emotion. Zero emotional attachment. If you are showing anybody the opportunity, don't bother yourself that this person may say no, or this person may say yes, or the word of the like somebody like some of us that used to share, go out for flyer. You are going to get rejection along the way. Yes, but if you attach emotion to that emotion, that action, is going to throw you back in the business. Be excited, even though when somebody rejects the opportunity, don't worry, don't attach emotion to it. Just zero your mind from that outcome. In this business, if you are into this business, what you'll be focusing is the end point. Yes, when your mind is not, when you are not seeing yourself, seeing the end point of it, is going to make you to attach emotion to the business. But whenever you are showing this opportunity to anybody, just have it at the back of your mind that this thing, people are rejecting me. In the next last 1 year now or 6 months, I am not going to be in this position I am today. Yes, just be seeing yourself, as in see your future from now, and don't attach emotion to it. Showing this opportunity, you may show the opportunity to somebody, the person, you may not be able to get signed up on that day. Don't be emotionally down with the results, because even though the result is not showing today, tomorrow the result will show. Yes, even though the result is not coming today, just keep on doing what you are doing. Tomorrow the result will definitely show. And those people that rejected the opportunity will definitely come back to the business. That is it. I know a lot of them today coming back. Like one day we went to Ogbodi to show this opportunity to some people. And many of them, there's two men that came that day. They said, I have registered in the business, but when I registered 2 years ago, people are telling me that it's a scam, but I paid 49. I think during that time, it was 38,000. I paid 38,000, but people and my friends rejected it, and I abandoned the business because they are telling me that it's a scam. I said, child, something that you paid your money, and because of what other people are saying, make you to abandon your business for 2 years. He was telling me that he knows Esomchi, that time Esomchi was calling him to come back and this and that. But guess what? I told them to come back to the office the next day with their receipt. And that day, the next day, they came to our office with the same interest form they used to pay last 2 years. And guess what? The most funny part of it is that the people that rejected the business last 2 years, the friends he recommended last 2 years that make him to abandon the business, now connected to the business, and they are the one that recommended the same people in the business now. Child, I don't know if you are getting me. And guess what? I feel like crying for that man. And when he met those people and he told them, is it not the business I showed you people last 2 years? You people that were telling me that this thing is a scam. And they told the man that, we did not know that the thing is real. Guess what? Today, the man started from the beginning. He met with our mentor, Esomchi, and the man told them, come and start from the beginning. They came back again and started the Quick Starter Guide. Error. That is it. Don't attach emotion. Just keep on doing what you are doing. Don't allow anybody option weigh you down in the business. And another thing, the 5th thing he said here is that you should love to close. Love to close. Because if you are not, like anything you are doing and you don't love what you are doing, it will be difficult for you to move to the next level. It will be difficult for you to to keep on remaining, even though when other people rejected it. But when you love what you are doing, even though other people may be rejecting you, even though your friends may reject you, but because you love what you are doing, that love that you have for that thing will keep you going in the business, will make you remain in the business. That is it. But if you are doing the business because other people are doing it, you don't even like what you are doing, you are just into the business, doing it anyhow because other people are doing it. Guess what? When your friends reject it, it will affect you. Yes, that is it. But yes, I think our super moderator is back. I'm going to drop it here because he's already back. Okay, if you can hear me, you can take up from here, sir. Okay, I believe you can hear me. So I hope some of us here have a little thing to contribute. If you have just a little or you want to share, let me just see your hand. Let me not be the only one that is talking here. Please, if you are sharing, just make it brief because we don't have much time. Okay, I'm seeing Juliana Ukamaka. Doesn't mean you are the only one that got value for this training. Okay, Juliana Ukamaka, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead and unmute your, just make it brief.
All right, good morning, my mentor. Good morning, all the champions in the house. The topic today, closing down, is a very awesome one, and I really learned a lot. I remember when I joined this business, seeing people closing people and people will pay. Sometimes I'll be saying, are they using another thing to do it? But now I start to realize that it's just the skills that they have. Like from this video, Matt Morris says that for you to close someone down, you don't need to talk much. You just ask the person a question, and once the person is talking, don't talk too much. Because if you are talking too much, you are going to talk the person out of the business. Because sometimes we have prospects have different objections. Some of them, your own problem might not be another person's problem. And if you are using, just like somebody is saying, oh, I do not have time for this business. The person is saying it in his mind. And you that is closing the person down, you are telling the person, don't worry, you see this business, you are going to be coming here. For you saying that is a red flag to that person, and you say at the end of the day, the person will not sign on. But if you listen very well, you will know the angle to come in with that person's objection. And again, this video, Matthew says that when closing down, you'll be smiling. Sometimes I notice that when you are smiling to prospects, they love you more and they will pay attention to whatever you need to say. If somebody is telling you, hey, this business, you see, I like it, but I don't have money. If I go and borrow money, the way the person is saying to you, you are just smiling. And after it, you just ask that person, what did you like best? This question, like if you ask somebody this kind of question, that person will be open to tell you everything. Hey, I love it. And after saying, the person okay, I believe you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so the skill of closing down. Sometimes I see our mentors, they always remember that person that closed them down, that made them to take that right decision. Sometimes people do not pay. It's not because they don't have the money, but what? They did not see anybody to ask them to take that right decision. And seeing many testimonies, they always say that, they always pray to that person that give them that chance to say yes, to join the business. So let me just stop here so that every other person can say what they learned. Thank you, my moderator, for giving me this opportunity.
Wow, this one is wonderful. Thank you, Juliana Ukamaka, for this wonderful sharing. Okay, I appreciate you so much. So I'm seeing another person here, Geraldine MM. Just you can unmute yourself and please make it to be brief. Yes, you can unmute yourself and just share with us what you have.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you, my mentor, for giving me this opportunity. Okay, let me now go back to let me go straight to the keys that will help us to become a good closer. Number one here, it says having fun. Having fun, they mean here is not a kind of that you just be playing with what you are teaching, but in a situation where you are teaching people what to do, or where you are teaching people how to about the business. Sometimes there are stories or things you say that will attach them being happy, or you let them to answer a question, and everybody be happy at the tunnel. Then number 2 here, he says posture up. Yes, I remember the first day I came. The particular person is Unbendable Face Joy. She was the one at our village that day. She was the one doing the presentation. I love the way she looked, the way she talked. In fact, there was a time she was adding some little dialects like Kobolo. I was just saying, okay, this person, let me trust this person. This thing cannot be scam. Then another one says being excited. You know, in this place, there is a situation where you will find yourself. Maybe you are teaching somebody, being a teacher or being in front of people, standing on the midst of people to tell them something. If you are telling them and you are not happy, or in what you are saying, you will find out that many people will just be saying, what is going on? How can this person tell me that I'll be rich in not less than 3 years? And the person also is behaving as if there's something holding him or her. But a situation where you'll be happy, where you'll be bold and smart, telling somebody what the person needs to know, the person will believe in you. The person will say, this is so good. And there's something that happened again this last time that we came. When they are trying to close down after prayer, there are these 2 people that have joined the business that are already connectors. They went and they were sitting in front of them because they were vacant. They were seated that those people were not sitting. Then these 2 people that have registered before, they went and sit there at the left. But when it is time to raise them, because they were there, they were not doing anything. They were not raising hands. It affected so many people in that side. In that side, they are saying almost everybody in that side, nobody registered from that side because they are in front. People are just seeing them that maybe, and they are matured. So I believe that somebody could have corrected them by telling them the people that have joined this business before not to sit in front, because so far they are saying something, you are not answering, you are not raising your hand. It may affect others sitting beside you. Even sometimes they say if you are sleeping, it can affect somebody sitting close to you. So let me not go far. With this, I believe that some people can be, that someone have got what I say. Thank you, my mentor.
Wow, thank you very much, Geraldine. This is our first super rising leader. Yes, it came. Yes, guess what? This lady, this woman have started presentation, and guess what? And she is very powerful in presentation. Just watch out for her in the next 6 months. You are going to see a leader, because if me looking at her and hearing her voice and the angle she's coming from, you will discover that this is a real leader. And guess what? Keep it up, Geraldine, for this. I want you to just keep it up. And we are going to meet the next person. Because of our time, the next person here is Odo Caroline Ndidi. Let's just hear from you. You can unmute yourself and please make it to be brief. I hope you can hear me. Madam Caroline, you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
I hope
champion.
you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Yeah, I thank God for this opportunity given to me to share what I learned. I will just pick some few points. Number one thing the value I got in this is when he said that you should get rid of fear of rejection. Because at times, if you are presenting, you'll be fidgeting, the fear will just, you will be fearing. But this morning I learned that you should not, you should get rid of that fear. Now, when you are presenting, you should be bold enough to talk to the people you are presenting to. Don't fear. Don't even think that, who knows whether these people will sign in or not. No, just be bold enough. Get rid of that fear. And when you present, some will sign in and some may not sign in. And again, I also say that you should share your why. Why presenting, why closing? You have to share your why. That your why will make those people to relax. The people we are presenting to, they will relax and say, oh, if this person with this why is into this business, that I will equally get into the business. And again, you should let them know that the business we're talking about is not a childish business, that is not just a joke, that is not a scam. These are the things you have to let them know. Don't fear. Don't let the grip of fear catch you up. Just be plain, and your postures will let those people know whether if this organization, whether if it is real or not. You have to, you have to love yourself. There's a point where you said that you have to love closing. Yes, you have to love to close. Let it hungry you to close, and that will make you to get people signed up. And you have to be excited. You have to be zero emotional. Don't attach any emotional when you are closing. Be excited. Be happy. Be happy with the business. And when you are happy, you'll be happy closing. Thank you very much. Hello.
Okay, wow. Thank you very much, Madam Caroline, for that. This is another super rising leader from Ikem. Yes, just keep it up. I know the angle you are coming from. That is bold enough, and share your why. And the next person here, I'm going to move on to the next person. I think the next person here is Silas Ozemena. Please, you can just make it to be short because we don't have much time again. Silence of them, and just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, good morning. I'm Silas Eze. I wish to be very brief in this my summary. I understood that your posture when you are presenting matters a lot, because when you look so fidgety, people will start to say, why? This is not a copy. And then they will start suspecting, oh, I may or I may not register. So you compose yourself, be confident in what you are doing, and then people will exactly say, yes, actually, that's actually doing. To sell or register. You should also love what you are doing. You don't do things because others are doing. Confidence in what you are doing, love what you are doing, and then people will have confidence in you. That confidence matters a lot. This person actually, you actually love what is there doing. I will create and then register. Next thing there is that people should always wear a smiling face where you are, because when you are frowning, you say, oh, this person, why is a smiling face? How am I sure that this person was actually serious in what is there doing? And then that way the person you may scare the person away. But by the time you are smiling and then showing a fall with the person will be accommodating, and then will finally turn up. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much for the wonderful contribution. Yes, thank you very much. And we look forward to this start. You can make it brief because we don't have much time. We want to end it by 9:10. We are already late, but let us end it by 9:10. Just go ahead and unmute yourself and make it brief. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, Modesta is not there. Maybe you are going to move to the next person. James Mwite, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, my moderator and the following champion in the house. Can you hear me? Okay. The area I want what I learned from McMorris is the area of closing. And some other areas I'm supposed to talk. My fellow champions that have contributed has made it clear to every one of us. So I want to stress on the area of closing. When closing, McMurray said, when closing, you will not allow the person that you are closing to see you as if you are begging him or her. Because I myself, hearing that, I quickly understand that if the person can eventually see you as you are begging him to get started, he will quickly reflect to the area where presenters say, this business is a business of no convincing, no selling.
I think your network
you will make sure that you are bold enough, and the way you will talk to the person, he will never understand that you are begging him or her. He will see you as if you are bold enough with your business. If he is or her is to get started, it's just for her own benefit. So I heard that, and I'm very, very excited on that, because sometimes some prospects, we find something in you that we make them not to sign. And you know,
okay, thank you for that sharing. Okay, we don't have much time again. We are going to close here. Thank you for that wonderful contribution. Okay, if you can hear me, we are going to close it here. Okay, so we're going to stop here because of our time. And guess what? We are going to invite our super moderator to. Okay, let us just end the meeting. I appreciate you all for staying to the end. People that stayed to the end, I can see the moderator, James, Felix Joy, Amazing Grace, Chibetale Wednesday, then Eze, Anna Yautifu, Geraldine, Ifebuche, Ugoke, Joseph Isom, Joseph Ejim, then Juliana Okanaka. I can see all of you. Martin Ezamalu, Nadi, Ikena, Odo Caroline, Ndidi, and Oka for Cynthia, Silas, Ozemena, Ubani Ginika, then Ubunjo, Christian, Chu, then Ugoke Lukeria, then Ugoke Victor, Chidubem. Thank you very much for staying to the end. These are the leaders. Many people have logged out because of network issue, but guess what? These are the people that remain, and guess what? With God on our side, we are unstoppable. So we are going to call it a day now. Somebody should lead us in a closing prayer. Let me just see something that is going to. Okay, Amazing Grace, you can just unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and lead us in a closing prayer. Amazing Grace. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you can lead us in a closing prayer.
In Jesus' name. In the mighty name of Jesus. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful meeting. We pray may your name be highly exalted in the name of Jesus. Our Father, we pray that you will give us the grace to be successful champions. We also pray that in all our endeavors, you are going to help us in Jesus' name. In Jesus' most precious name, I've prayed. Amen. Our Father.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm going to stop it here. Thank you for that wonderful prayer. And therefore, somebody should share our slogan of Bendable Joy. Felix Joy, go ahead and share our slogan. And let us, I want to remind all of us today that we'll be having our AP lighting today by 7 p.m. Make sure you invite all your team, your AP downline, because we are going to have a super lighting today by 7 p.m. The link will be posted in the group. So I think Felix Joy is here. Can just go ahead and share our slogan as we call it today. Okay, I believe you can hear me. I'm looking for the slogan here. Let me just share it. Felix Joy is not there. Just share the slogan here. Sorry, I'm just looking for the slogan here. Okay, we don't have much time again. Let us call it. Okay, we are going to close it here. We don't have much time. If you are not joining cell meeting, you are your own enemy in this business. Leaders, who are we?
We are the unbendable champions, and with God on our side, we are unstoppable.
We are indomitable.
With God on our side, we are unstoppable.
God on our side.